60 minutes. National Democratic Congress describes Electoral Commission rejection of proposal for live broadcast of observations on provisional voters register as unfortunate, accusing the electoral body of running away from transparency.
Also coming up, calls to hold Parliament to the higher standard of accountability deepened following claims by the Speaker that some MPs are heavily involved in galamsey.
Also coming up in the bulletin tonight, our campaign to get government to light up Ghana takes us to Sunyani, from where security is compromised because of poorly lit streets.
Over 90% of businesses in Ghana and rest of Africa at risk of heightened cybersecurity threats. In sports, Angola's Palancas Negras upsets Ghana's Black Stars, scoring 1 in injury time in front of a packed stadium in Kumasi. We have the details of these and many more stories coming up over the next 1 hour. In the details tonight, 3 persons reportedly died on the spot while 12 others are in critical condition following a tragic accident at Gomoa in the Gomoa West District on Apam-Winneba Highway. A Toyota bus with 15 passengers from Accra to Cape Coast burst one of its back tires and veered off the road, causing the accident. According to reports, most of the passengers who were on board the vehicle were heading towards Cape Coast for their Fetu Afashe. Apamfa Commander DO2 Anthony Kwesi, who confirmed the accident, says the bus caught fire after somersaulting in the bush. He said the deceased have been deposited to Winneba Trauma Mortuary, while some casualties have been sent to Winneba Trauma Hospital and Winneba Municipal Hospital for treatment.
12:15, we had a call that there is an accident at Gomoa in Junction, that is on the Apam-Winneba Highway. So my men went. When they went, it was a Toyota Haze with registration number 805-24. In all, 15 passengers were on board. Out of the 15, 3 reported, meaning 3 died at the spot, including 1 lady and 2 gentlemen. 1 was the mate. And out of the 15, 3 were children. 1 was in critical condition. 12 were rescued and sent to Winneba Trauma Hospital and Municipal Hospital. So as we are speaking, they are at the hospital. My guys went there and their condition are stable.
He also advised drivers to minimize the speed on highways and respect the road signs to curb road accidents on that particular stretch.
In other news tonight, scores of supporters of both the NPP and the NDC in Salaga, the capital of the Salaga South constituency of the Savannah region, have clashed in a free-for-all fight following the arrival of the district's road improvement program in the constituency. A confrontation ensued between the two parties when their supporters went to usher in the equipment into Salaga from Damango. Now, 2 persons are said to be seriously injured and on admission at the Salaga Government Hospital, whilst others are also receiving treatment for minor injuries. Even before the arrival of the equipment, the parties announced to their supporters to come out in their numbers, with each claiming to own the equipment. Let's get more details of the incident from our colleague Christopher Mwaku, who is Northern Regional Correspondent. But before that, let's take a listen to events as they transpired there. Well, let's go live to our Northern Regional Correspondent, Christopher Poku, who has all the details of the happenings there today. Chris, what details have you gathered on this clash between the NDC and the MPP supporters?
Yes, so the drip equipment for the Savannah region were handed over to the various assemblies today, and some of them have actually transported theirs to their various districts. And so when that of this East Gonja municipality, that is the Salaga South constituency, arrived, both the NDC and the NPP, because they had informed their supporters that the equipment were coming and that they should gather in their numbers to go and welcome the equipment, there was a confrontation that ensued between the two political parties because each of them is claiming ownership of the equipment, to have influenced the coming of the equipment into the municipality. And so when the misunderstanding ensued right in front of the Salaga District Police Command, scores of the supporters belonging to both NPP and NDC were injured and taken to the Salaga Government Hospital, where they are currently receiving treatment.
Do we know why the opposition party, the NDC supporters, will be claiming ownership of these equipments?
Yes, because the Member of Parliament for the Salaga South constituency went to one of the electoral areas in the constituency and announced to them that the equipment are from the MP's share of the common fund that was used to procure the equipment. And so when the equipment arrived in the constituency, she will lead the equipment into the constituency and hand them over to the chiefs. And so the supporters took this information, and when the equipment were arriving, they went out in their numbers to meet the equipment that the district chief executive, the municipal chief executive had gone to bring from Damango. And so that resulted in the confrontation that brought us where we are today, as scores are injured and receiving treatment at the Salaga Government Hospital.
Christopher Marco, thank you very much. Christopher Marco is our Northern Regional correspondent, bringing us to speed with events as they happened in Damongo in the Northern Region. This is your Election Command Center.
The Electoral Commission has rejected the NDC's request for a live telecast of a planned meeting to discuss challenges with the Provisional Voters Register list. The opposition NDC has had cause to raise complaints over the current voters' roll after the Electoral Commission by itself admitted to wrong voter transfers by its officials and the bloating of the Provisional Register. According to the NDC, the discrepancies and its warrant for a live telecast to aid the process of a free, transparent election that, as we understand now, has been rejected by the EC. Now, let's walk you through the basis of the EC's rejection. Now, the Commission stands in readiness to hear from the NDC the discrepancies it says it has identified with the Provisional Voters Register. The EC says the identification of discrepancies by the NDC is not a new phenomenon. The Commission says it absolutely is committed to free, fair, transparent, peaceful and credible elections. However, the Commission does not accept the proposal of a live telecast or broadcast of the meeting and says that our team is ready to meet with the NDC on the agreed time. Let's go on Zoom now and speak to NDC's Deputy Director of IT, Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer. Dr. Computer, thank you for joining us on News 360 this evening.
Yes, thank you very much, dear.
The Electoral Commission says that it is ready to hear what you have found out in a live broadcast. Is that not satisfactory?
Yeah, it's not satisfactory. Why is the Electoral Commission running away from their own motto, which says transparency? Why are they running away from transparency? That document, the register, is a public document. It's not a secret document. It's not a classified document. It's a public document. That is why they exhibited it. So if we have seen discrepancies, we've written to you, we've agreed that we should come and meet after your initial dragging your feet. And then we also said, okay, why not let the public come along with us as we are presenting to you, so that the public will get to know that we are not just fooling them, we're not blowing hot air. We meant business. That is why we're talking about it. So why are they running away from it? In any case, they held a press conference and accepted all the problems there in the register. When we said it initially, they were denying it. They came up with a press statement that their register was robust, credible, and can be used for a purpose. Then who forced them to go and hold a press conference to now accept that whatever the NDC was saying was credible? And now they want to meet us. So why are they running away from transparency? Our intention is to just engender a transparent process so that the public will get to know the document that they are going to use to vote come December 7th. That is all that. So I'm surprised the Electoral Commission is now choosing opacity over transparency. And that has been what they have been touting, transparency. And transparency is tearing them, and they are running away from transparency.
But Dr. Computer, the Commission is saying that this is not the first time your party has identified discrepancies, so they don't understand why you're asking for a live broadcast.
Dear, this is the first time we have seen massive irregularities, massive anomalies in an exhibition exercise. Since '92, we've been doing this exercise. We've never seen a situation where massive illegal transfer of voters from one constituency to another without their knowledge. This is completely unacceptable. This is the first time. It has never happened. Look at their response to us. They decided to hide away the transfer issue. Why haven't they talked about the transfers? Who told you anytime we do exhibition, you see issues of transfer, people's name being illegally transferred? How? Because transfer, you cannot do it without appearing before a returning officer in the constituency. And so if you are not see that your name has been moved from one constituency to another, that's illegal. That is why they interdicted one of their offices. So this is the first time we are seeing such a massive distortion of data of Electoral Commission. That is why we want this transparent process, so that the public will get to understand what is in the register and what led to that. That is what we are just trying to do. So
if the EC insists on not having that live broadcast, are you willing to meet the Commission?
Yes, we will meet the Commission tomorrow at 2 p.m. We are ready. We are going there with our own equipment. We are going with our projectors and laptops. I meant to do the presentation. But we will find innovative means of getting you this media to cover the program.
Right. Thank you very much for your time this evening. Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer is the NDC's Deputy Director of IT.
Right, Ayisha. In other news, some civil society organizations have criticized Parliament for reneging on holding government accountable to protect Ghana's water bodies. This follows a recent revelation by the Speaker of Parliament that some MPs are complicit in the galamsey fight. Now, before we speak to co-chair of the Citizens Movement Against Corruption, Adam Saranu, let's listen to comments made by the Speaker of Parliament and some MPs.
Anybody, whether you are a religious person, you are a traditional person, you are a politician, you are a flag bearer or an MP who politicizes galamsey operations in this country, this house must take action on that person. We should invite any individual we have on video in this house who is promising the people of Ghana, especially the young people of Ghana, that if you vote for me, I would allow you to do galamsey.
Our water bodies has been destroyed to the extent that we are threatened in a way that if care is not taken, we will not be able to have water. The Speaker, this is as a result of galamsey. And he is the Minister for Defense. The President of State is President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. So if the President has failed, he should admit so. And if he has failed as a Minister for Defense in tackling galamsey, he should admit so. It is wrong for him to cast insinuations and aspersions and creating impressions that somebody is making political statement. The executive power of state is with the President, and you are the Minister for Defense. If you can tell us that you cannot deploy the military to stop galamsey, but you can deploy the military to stop the exportation of maize, and so we should clap for you. Mr. Speaker, the issues we are talking about, they are serious issues. Our livelihood is threatened.
If we are to look and investigate both sides of the house, you have had the opportunity to rule this country before. I can tell you, you polluted the water more than us. You polluted the water more than us. The MPP administration and the NDC administration I'll be happy to debate you who has polluted our water bodies and our environment more than the other.
Honorable Minister for Defense, when you said I was not hearing from you because the country is safe. Now I've heard from you, and what I heard showed that the country is not safe. If I have to implement the request you are making, I'm not sure you will survive. All of you will survive. So please, let's move away from that one, because it's very difficult to determine what a political statement is when you are talking about galamsey, and what a political statement is not when you are talking about galamsey. And as to videos about galamsey, the later we talk about it, the better.
We can now speak to co-chair of the Citizens Movement Against Corruption, Adam Senanu. Adam, thank you so much for your time. The Speaker of Parliament was clear that some MPs are in fact involved in galamsey. Is it not about time he names and shames those he thinks are involved in this?
Well, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, this country seems to be struggling from a lack of leadership. We have a leadership deficit where it matters most. I mean, a lot of those comments were outrageous and irresponsible to the extent that one is wondering whether some of them ought not to be apologizing to us. If in the last 8 years, this government was not able to investigate and name the NDC people they claim polluted the water more than they did, what business do they have at this time claiming that one group made it worse than they did? Especially when we have a president who put his presidency on the line to say that I'm going to deal with this. Somebody ought to come and talk to the people. It's absolutely irresponsible for them to be talking this way. Parliament ought to, not just the Minister of Defense, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. We need to understand what is going on. You know, this is a crisis of the kind of magnitude that can shake everyone. As I've said elsewhere, this is a horror movie. And we seem to be just, tiptoeing around the issue without confronting it and dealing with the substantive issues. It's absolutely not acceptable that either group should be telling us one party did it worse and let's debate it. This is not a debate. It's not a debate. When Professor Frimpong Boateng put his report out, apparently he took it himself, gave it to the chief of staff for the president. They isolated him, virtually targeted him, tried to, the emeritus professor looked like somebody who had been harassed. And here we are. We apparently have this probably 4 years or so, within which very soon we'll have a bigger crisis than we have now. Very, very irresponsible for all of them.
What can we possibly do about this, Mr. Senanu? Haven't we already lost the fight?
I mean, at any point when you say you've lost the fight, then really what you're doing is you're accepting doom. And that's not the way to go. It's time for citizen action, as far as I'm concerned. Article 41K makes it the responsibility of every citizen to protect and safeguard the environment. I think part of the problem is that we have also checked our responsibilities. We've not been responsible citizens enough to have stopped this when it was a smaller issue, and now it's become much bigger. At this point, just waiting for ministers to respond probably will not be enough. We need citizens out there. Like this week, I think earlier in the week, we had a media person arresting some of these Chinese guys. That is the kind of action, and we need to mobilize ourselves to make sure that the government knows that we are serious. And Parliament needs to do much more than what it is talking about at the moment.
Essentially, what you're saying is that we're not holding our MPs to the very highest standards.
No, we are not. We absolutely are not. We are not even holding the government. You can't have a president who says, my presidency is on the line on this matter. I mean, how is it possible that we have military and the military couldn't deal with this? It tells you that somebody must be complicit. There must be conflicted leadership. Otherwise, this should have been dealt with long ago. So it's time for us as citizens to deal with this matter. As much as often as we can talk about it, hold hands, identify, name and shame, this is the time to do that.
Thank you very much. Adam Senanu is with the Citizens Movement Against Corruption. We appreciate your time. You're still watching News 360 live from our news hub here at Jisawe in Kanda, Accra. Now to our campaign dubbed Fix the Streetlight.
Our Fix the Streetlights campaign takes us to the Bono region, where some streets and neighborhoods in Sunyani, the capital of the region, are facing safety concerns due to poor lighting. The new Doma Odumase Pastoral Center Road has come in the news as an area of concern, with residents expressing worry about security. Here's a report by Claude Kumi Abisa.
The Sunyani municipality has made significant strides in improving its lighting system, with several major streets and public spaces now well lit. The new lights have not only improved visibility at night, but have also enhanced the overall safety and security in the area. However, despite the positive changes, there are still areas in the municipality that are lacking proper lighting. Some streets and neighborhoods remain poorly lit, posing safety concerns for residents. Residents have reported that the lack of adequate lighting on the Odomasi Pastoral Center area has made it difficult for them to navigate their way around at night. We are currently on the Odomasi Pastoral Center Road. This particular stretch of the road links the Sunyani East and the Sunyani West. This stretch of the road, as we speak, has no street lights. Pedestrian, motorists, as well as residents who ply this portion of the road are enduring perilous conditions.
Sometimes when they close from church, especially the ladies, snatching of mobiles and stuff like that is not the best. Apart from the driving, those using the roads alone after 9:30, the darkness is too much.
I'm Robert A colleague of mine had his tricycle snatched by robbers on this stretch last Sunday, so authorities should fix the lights for us. It is very dangerous to use this stretch. We are appealing to government or benevolent persons to come to our aid.
However, the assembly member for New Doma electoral area, Idris Abdul Karim, is assuring residents that efforts are underway to address the area's lacking poor lighting. He pledged to work closely with relevant stakeholders to ensure that all parts of the area are well lit and safe for residents.
All that I can say for now is that by the close of this week, we will start a new installment of street bulbs. Definitely, we will work it out.
As the Sunyani municipality continues to make progress in improving its lighting system, it is clear that there is still work to be done. Authorities are urged to take immediate action to address this pressing issue. Claude Kumi Abisa, New Doma, Sunyani, Bono Region.
And still on our roads, road traffic offenders can no longer escape sanctions as the Ghana Police Service has rolled out an automated system that captures details of vehicles that flout traffic laws. Now, drivers who speed, jump red lights and commit any road offense will be issued with instant notification of the offenses and the amount to pay as fine. Christian Yale explains this initiative aimed at improving road safety and enforcing traffic laws.
The system, known as Traffic Tech GH, uses cameras and sensors to capture images and videos of vehicles that would disregard road traffic laws, such as speeding and jumping red lights. Once the offense is committed, the driver will receive an instant notification by SMS for the necessary fine to be paid. The location, date, and time of the specific offense, as well as the vehicle registration number, payment amount and deadline will be contained in the instant message sent to the offender. Payment of the fine can be made through mobile money or online via the Traffic Tech GH site within 14 days after receiving the notification. Note that you will pay an additional 1% penalty on the original fine for each day of default after the 14 days period. If you receive a message of any offense and you are no longer owner of the said vehicle, just notify the DVLA to effect the change. Interestingly, you are allowed to contest an offense under Traffic Regulations 2012 LI 2180, but you must first pay the fine before you can challenge the offense. You cannot contest the offense if you don't pay the fine within the 14 days period. Your fine will be refunded if the court rules in your favor. Other traffic offences that will be enforced under this system are expired roadworthiness certificate, wrongful overtaking, non-use of seatbelt, use of mobile phones while driving, abuse of siren, among others. There is going to be a massive crackdown on road traffic offenders. The police invisible eyes are watching every action on the road. Beware.
And now authorities of the Ghana International School have reiterated their commitment to protect the school land. This comes as the Office of the President refuted allegations it is encroaching a piece of land belonging to the Ghana International School. At the start of this week, the school raised alarm over encroachers on the lands after excavators were brought to the area to prep it for construction. The school's caution was further affirmed by North-Tongue MP Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa in a post on X. He said the school had been forced to fence the land using its passes to avoid what he said was the illegal takeover, as he called for an end to state capture. 3 days on, the presidency has categorically denied an involvement or interest in the land in question.
The flag bearer of the new patriotic party, Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia, has challenged the former president, suggesting John Mahama is avoiding a debate due to a lack of data to support his argument. Dr. Bawumia, while continuing his campaign, insists the NPP government has outperformed the NDC in all sectors of the economy.
As the December 7 elections draw closer, the Vice President and NPP flag bearer Dr. Bawumia is intensifying his campaign efforts in the Greater Accra region, determined to reverse the party's fortunes after their 2020 defeat. He's leaving no stone unturned in rallying support for the NPP, leading the onslaught across key constituencies. The Vice President is on a mission to regain ground for his party.
Whether it's agric, we have done better. Whether it's industry, we have done better. Whether it's jobs, whether it's roads, we have done better. Whether it's railway, we have done better. Hospitals, we have done better. Interchanges, we have done better. Classrooms and schools, we have done better. Sports facilities, we have done better. Sanitation facilities, we have done better. Court buildings, we have done better. Fiber optic cable, we have done better. AstroTurfs, we have done better. There is no single area.
Amid growing calls for a debate between the two major flag bearers, John Mahama of the NDC and Dr. Bawumia of the NPP, the NDC has insisted that Mr. Mahama will not engage in a debate with the Vice President. In response, Dr. Bawumia remarked that former President John Dramani Mahama is reluctant to debate him because, according to him, Mr. Mahama lacks the data to support his claims.
And this is why the former president doesn't want to debate me. He doesn't want to debate me because he knows that he doesn't have the data. He can make statements on political platforms where nobody can challenge him, but he cannot make them in front of me. He cannot.
Responding to questions from some professionals and traders association on taxes, Dr. Bawumia explained his flat tax rate policy.
The tax system, it is something that has been worrying me too for a long time. If you look at our tax system, it has become very complicated. I want us to move to this new transparent tax system, a flat tax system in Ghana. That is where I want Ghana to move to next year. I want us to, so it's very simple to calculate what you owe for businesses and for individuals. And because I want us to move to this new system, I don't want legacy issues to be there. So next year, I'm going to give a tax amnesty to all businesses and all individuals.
Meanwhile, MPP running mate Matthew Poku-Prempeh has called for a simplified tax system that all Ghanaians will be able to pay, knowing it is going straight to government. Dr. Poku-Prempeh was speaking at a mini rally in Abosokai to rally support for the party ahead of the December 7 polls.
Hundreds of party sympathizers besieged the main Abosokai main road to show support for the party. The running mate was in the company of the Member of Parliament for Asin Central, Kennedy Japon, aspiring Member of Parliament for the area, Jefferson Saki, and other party officials. Dr. Matthew Poku-Prempeh justified the need for a simplified tax regime.
We will simplify the 22 taxes by one flat plan, and anyone who couldn't pay his tax from the past years will not have to pay anymore.
He called on traders to vote massively for the NPP and the aspiring Member of Parliament, Jefferson Saki.
If you vote for Jefferson Saki and Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, the increase of the dollar rate that is affecting your businesses will cease.
Member of Parliament for Asin Central, Kennedy Japon, explained, despite the current economic challenges, the alternative would be detrimental for the youth of the country.
I am a businessman and I understand your duty rules. Dr. Mahmoud Baumia has promised us to fix all duty problems.
The Great Consolidated Popular Party, the GCPP, has unveiled Dr. Daniel Augustus Lartey as a flag bearer going into the December 7 elections. Dr. Lartey was popularly acclaimed alongside other National Party executives at a congress in Accra. Stanley Nibleo sat through the congress and reports.
The La Palm Royal Beach Hotel hosted the centralized congress of the Great Consolidated Popular Party that assembled delegates from all 16 regions. The Congress acclaimed Dr. Daniel Augustus Lartey as its flag bearer. This was subsequently confirmed by the Director of Elections at the Electoral Commission.
Then for the flag bearership, here too, because of the unity of the party, only one candidate still nominated at the close of nomination. In view of that, we hereby declare Dr. Daniel Augustus Lartey Jr.
His elder brother and former flag bearer of the party, Henry Lartey, was also acclaimed as the chairman of the party along with other national executives. The GCPP flag bearer promised to improve the party's domestication policies for implementation when elected into office. He said technology-driven agriculture will be a key consideration among policies adopted for implementation.
Agriculture is the backbone of our economy. For too long, we have neglected the potential of this vital sector. Under my leadership of the GCPP, will usher in a new era of agriculture reform centered around domestication. We can't do without domestication.
Away from that, and despite a Winchi High Court ordering compensation to be paid to 6 victims of the Techiman South violence, John Mahama is welcoming the move, but assuring of a conclusive investigation into the killings and a befitting compensation paid to the victims and their families. Family of one of the victims killed is rejecting the compensation. Here's a report by Komla Kluche.
It remains a single blot on the December 2020 elections where the victims were described in the most dehumanizing term.
Do we commiserate with the families of armed robbers we shoot?
Are the people who died armed robbers or are they criminals?
Were they in the process of committing a crime? Let's determine that.
After several engagements deemed by some members of the political class as unjust attitudes of state security apparatus operating fire on innocent victims, Some respite has come from the court for 6 of the victims. Mother of Tajuddin Al-Hassan, who lost his life in the violence, leaving behind 4 children, feels disrespected.
I have been mocked severally on this issue and alleged money I have not even gotten. They should keep their money. I don't even need it. If my son was alive, I would have gotten more than this. But I believe in John Mahama when he says he will get justice.
But as elections inches closer, it appears the people of Techiman South are looking at hindsight.
That yes, what they have done to us, meaning that we are not Ghanaians or what? There is no justice since these boys were shot and killed.
With an overwhelming win in 2020 elections in the Techiman South constituency, John Mahama's entry into the constituency sent the crowd agog. Polls by Global Info Analytics suggest the NPP could sweep the parliamentary seat as against the NDC.
This is News 360. We have some business news coming up next. Please stay with us.
I love President Charcoal. Why? When there are so many other charcoal toothpaste. That's both charcoal and lemon. Oh, does it? Yes. Look right here.
Yes. Pepsodent Charcoal has 2 of nature's powerful whitening ingredients. With the power of activated charcoal and lemon essence, it removes stains and whitens teeth naturally.
Convinced?
Well, I am. Just look at your beautiful Pepsodent smiles.
For naturally whiter teeth, Pepsodent Charcoal.
You know, 1 bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior. You know, 1 bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
92 African Cup just now. Aye.
Nana, ntimi nyonhwe mami.
Hwe no kire.
Aha ye ni adian.
Making money shouldn't be this hard. Just reload and win cash in the Telecel More Money promo. Win daily and weekly when you reload your mobile and broadband bundles. You can win up to 30,000 Ghana cedis weekly or the 1 million Ghana cedi grand prize. The more you reload, the better your chances of winning. In Telecel More Money promo. Dial *500# or opt in on the Telecel Play app for free. Telecel, connecting energies. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
Prophecy time.
Abraham and Sarah, Mubanya twins. Go and buy jackets. We are going to Canada. The best born Wamba. Master, what the Canada? Mungo today. Born a wow. Oh, you need because of my mepa. Business in bread, school fees, chop money. Funeral bills, suppliers, in-laws, side chicks. Oh yes, I book count. Oh how na spiritual. For bills. Bills micro credit. You see why? Bills micro credit. From Mbabwa. Ati. Kona from. Next.
Everyone is running to Bills. Enjoy the peace of mind that comes with acquiring any of our loan facilities. For whoever you are and whatever you're doing, Bills has a product for you. No susu, no deposits. All you need is your Ghana card. Bills, financing your needs.
Hello, Bills.
Whenever you fly to space or take your first step as baby, Soft Care always stays with you.
New Soft Care Space Series is rooted from space technology. Keeps you dry and comfortable for 12 hours long. Offers you the most effective protection during your space journey.
Soft Care. Protect your leap.
When
Playing for your country, easy. Scoring, easy. Avoiding injuries, easy. Winning, easy, Charlie. But you know what be easy now? Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar, roasted groundnuts. Just add water, then sharp my soakings make ready. Taste and energy, made easy. As I be street footballer, Gary at the top. Now we attend Starboy. Still Gary at the top. I travel go abroad. Kibo Gary at the top. Kibo Gary, he the bio. I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Champion taste.
This advert is FDA approved.
The business segment is brought to you by MTN
and Napa Foods. Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Coil.
West Hills Ridge Property, Eden Heights.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the business segment on News 360. My name is Menu Afo. In our first story, more than 90% of African businesses, including Ghana, are operating without adequate cybersecurity measures, leaving the continent's cyberspace highly vulnerable. This alarming statistic was highlighted at the 2024 Regional Cyber Drill for Africa, jointly organized by the ITU and Interpol in Accra.
At the 2024 Regional Cyber Drill for Africa, the ITU revealed that over 90% of African businesses lack proper cybersecurity protocols, putting the continent's digital security at significant risk.
More than 90% of African business operate without adequate cybersecurity protocols in place, which means that Africa's cyberspace is at risk, and a lot of efforts need to be put in place to properly secure it.
Meanwhile, the Cybersecurity Authority has so far accredited over 1,400 professionals to deal with existing and emerging cyber threats.
Ghana has introduced what we call accreditation of cybersecurity professionals as part of our collaborative regulatory interventions.
Government is, however, set to unveil a new national cybersecurity policy and strategy to strengthen the country's digital infrastructure.
The strategy document has been approved by the Cabinet of Ghana and is expected to be adored in the next month during the Cybersecurity Month, as you know we celebrate in this country.
The ITU Interpol Regional Forum was themed, Bridging the Gap, Building the Future.
Away from that, the Social Security and National Insurance Trust, SNIT, says it is poised to further increase private sector enrollment in the National Pension Scheme. This follows data from the Bank of Ghana showing a 2.7% increase in the number of private sector SNIT contributors as of May 2024 compared to the same period in 2023. Speaking at an employer stakeholder meeting, Director General Kofi Osafo-Mafo underscored the crucial role the private sector plays in driving the economy.
The private sector has even exceeded the government sector. And the central point there is that the private sector is the backbone of the economy. And indeed, if SNIT is to succeed, we have to continue to look for the growth in the private sector and to enroll more people in the private sector. Not only that, the whole SEED initiative really is about the private sector. The informal sector is private, irrespective of the trade that the person carries out, irrespective of the profession, irrespective of how small, how large that is. That is really the private sector. So our whole economy really revolves around the private sector, and we cannot continue to rely on the government to provide employment for everyone. So if SNIT really is to sustain itself and to grow, our emphasis must be on enrolling more people in the private sector and also in the informal sector at all levels.
In more stories, Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry is advocating for the engagement of credit unions in government's SME support program. Government has deployed over 2 billion cedis this year to support small and medium-skilled enterprises. At the Chamber Cooperative Credit Union Annual General Meeting, Nana Dr. Apieje Dankwaso I, Interim Board Chairman of the union, argued that compared to traditional banks, credit unions are more sustainable and their funds easily accessible.
The government will want to support the SMEs, and we want them to use it through our credit union and other credit unions, because credit unions have been very sustainable. If you go back or you make your references well, you realize that some of the banks that were collapsed, none of the credit unions have ever become collapsed, especially and also that of the rural banks. No, because they have been able to do their things well, properly regulated, and results very great and oriented.
And that's it for Business on News 360 with me, Menu Afo. Do stay with us for more stories after this break.
She's coming. She's coming!
Oh, it's in.
Red receipt now!
Boss, let's go back.
Okay, here. Take this.
She's coming.
I know. Go to the pharmacy now.
She's coming! Oh. She's here.
Pay faster, pay safer, and pay easy with Momo app. Download now and pay with the QR code, merchant ID, and so much more.
Live in a community where your neighbors become family. And where family is love that awaits you on a daily basis. And where friendships bind us together in communal spirit. This is Eden Heights, a well-planned paradise with ready-to-move-in apartments and penthouses located behind the West Hills Mall, where living is a lifestyle. So, whatever your style, Eden Heights is the perfect place to live. For purchase or rental, call +233 50 153 1444 or +233 50 153 1445. Eden Heights, the height of modern living.
My head really aches, feeling cold and feverish.
Sorry. I know the solution to your problem. It is Procode.
Procode? I bought some 3 days ago, but I'm not seeing any improvement. You can even have a look.
Let me look at it. This is fake. Let's go to the drugstore. Please, we want Procode. No, not this.
Oh, but this does the same work, and it's even far cheaper.
No, we insist you give us Procode from Kojak. I don't understand why people give this fake Procode. And where they don't give the fake one, then they give you a similar one with a different name and tell you it works the same. But it is not so. The only Procode we know is from Kojak. If it's not Procode from Kojak, then we won't accept it.
Wow. So this is the original Procode. It has the logo and Kojak boldly written on it.
Yes, for quick and effective relief from headache, flu, nasal congestion and other feverish conditions, insist on Procode from Kojak.
Procode, K-O-J-A-C-H. Procode.
This advert is FDA approved.
Hello, good evening and welcome to the sports segment here on News 360 with me, Yakubu-Halid. We are straight to Kumasi where the Black Stars began their campaign in the 2025 AFCON qualifiers with a 1-0 defeat against Angola at the Baba Sports Stadium. It's coincidentally their first loss at the venue since February 2000. My colleague Kelvin Owusu-Ansah watched the game and found this report.
Error caused the Black Stars in the final minutes of the game as the Palancas Negras of Angola ran away with all the 3 points here at the Baba Sports Stadium. And for the first time since February 2000, Ghana have lost here. For head coach Otuado, the pitch wasn't ideal as the playing surface for both teams, but his team needs to do better going forward.
At least, I think we deserved a point at least. Was a little bit unlucky. And yeah, we can just hope that I don't like to do this, but on this pitch, to be honest, the guys did really well on the second half to control the game like they did, and we have to work on the pitch to get better because it's very difficult, and then also mistakes can happen.
For Angola coach Pedro Goncalves, this is a victory that is going to step them towards greater heights with their next game coming up against Kwesi Asare, Sudan.
Everybody feels that we are growing, but we are searching for that kind of win. But now we have the challenge, and with me, the challenge for sure is to tomorrow the feet on the ground, and nobody go with the hand in the moon and thinking is the best ones in the world. Working.
Ghana will have to set at the base of the table with no points with Niger as the two teams face off on Monday. Sudan would also play against the Palancas Negras of Angola on match day 2 of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers. Kelvin Owusu-Ansah from the Baba Sports Stadium in Kumasi for 3 Sports.
Well, a very sad day in Kumasi, but we still stay on the Black Stars. Here's a reaction from the numerous fans who went to the Baba Sports Stadium and had to endure that defeat.
Fantastic. The Black Stars played very well. We were just unlucky.
Instead of him to do the substitution on time, the substitution was, he made the substitution at the wrong time. The substitution was the wrong time. Why must you wait till 90 minutes? We wait until 90 minutes and send a best substitution. Why?
Nanka so your changes. Oma oyi is a lesser usuntem a film. Now some boy eba tactical mistakes because coach want to make sure Jordan and as a Semenyo now more the same pitch. I'm saying your goal, but Semenyo playing left wing like and I am not feeling so you may say Salih Samed because you know be our initiative play. We are coach. You have about 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 60 minutes. Bibi and Chelsea go. Who are players or bench? I don't know. Yet me the 5 minutes go.
Blaster team Nagasano. I don't know. Say Diabo, say no meal, say me to me. Number 4 first half game. Uber nice game. Nothing. Even change the score as a coach. Yeah. On the right changes.
Well, you can see that fan almost in tears there after the Black Stars lost their opening qualifier for the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations. A lot of reactions from the coaches, the fans, and also what happened with regards to the fans at the stadium throwing plastic waste in protest. All of that on our social media handles at 3SportsGH and also 3News4S/Sports. My name is Yakubu-Halid, and up next on the bulletin is entertainment with Anita Kufu.
Entertainment news segment is powered by 3 Entertainment.
My name is Anita Ikufu, and in entertainment this evening, the Africa Arts Network is joining forces with Nigeria's Brainjota for a theatrical production that's set to bridge the gap between Ghana and Nigeria. And this new stage play collaboration between these two vibrant cultures is poised to redefine theater in West Africa. We bring you all the details on this exciting production and its impact on the future of African theater.
This man!
Ghana and Nigeria, with their rich tapestry of love, friendship and entertainment, have often struggled to find a common ground. The rivalry between these neighboring nations, with their distinct cultures and backgrounds, has spanned music, food, football, film and now theatre. The Africa Arts Network is heating up with its latest Ghana-Nigeria theatrical collaboration, You Play Me, I Play You. This production is set to transform the theatre scene across both countries. The play, a compelling sociocultural satire penned by acclaimed playwright Efo Kojo-Maugbe, stars a remarkable cast, including Ghanaian performer General Ntatia, Nigeria's Bring Jota, and Clemento Suarez, all directed by Fifi Coleman.
We love what we do. We love the banter between the two nations, and we're trying to figure out a way that how collaborative can we get with other things. We've done it with music, we've done it with movies, trade, commerce, all of those things. I think theatre hasn't been explored much, and this play allows us to be able to do this to see how the dynamics is going to work out. Yes, this is huge. This is very huge for us. National Theatre Bukom Arena. It's going to be exciting.
For the cast, this collaboration represents a significant step in redefining theatre across borders.
I mean, it's going to come out with something extraordinary, something different, because I mean, picking two brains from different countries with the different cultural backgrounds and different, ways of doing things, it's going to be something cracker, something that is going to be unique. I feel that now theatre, has come to some level when it comes to Ghana. And I don't know how the market is when it comes to theatre in Nigeria, but I think this is the right time for us to, also, because we've done movies, we've done football, a lot of things, but it's about time that we also look at the theatre. It's also an avenue that we can explore to see how best the two countries can collaborate to, strengthen the theatre backgrounds when it comes to the two countries.
You guys, first of all, you look out for the real Brain Jota. We're not going out of that piece, you get what I'm saying? So this is more like watching me do what I do live. And then this is more like a Nigerian Ghana thing. We want to see who's wiser, but Nigeria will win anyways. But then regardless, I don't know. For the sake of the play, I might let you guys, I might let it slide. But regardless, it's just a night of so much fun, happiness. Let's come laugh, enjoy ourselves.
You Play Me, I Play You is scheduled to hit the stage on November 8 and 9 at the National Theatre in Accra and the Bukom Boxing Arena. And this is a collaboration we're looking forward to, and that brings us to the end of the Entertainment News segment. My name is Anita Ikufu. Have a good evening.
Coming up is the latest international news.
Ugandan Olympic athlete Rebecca Chitagi has died days after being drenched in petrol and set ablaze by a former boyfriend. She suffered extensive burns in the horrid attack on her return from church. It is unclear if the incident took place in front of her two daughters, but it is believed the attack was because of a piece of land the 33-year-old marathon runner had bought across the border in Kenya. Rebecca competed in the recently concluded Paris Olympics. Rebecca adds to a growing list of female athletes killed or attacked by their partners. U.S. investigators are probing how a 14-year-old student opened fire at a Georgia high school. The suspect, who is being held in juvenile detention, killed 4 people, 2 14-year-olds and 2 teachers on Wednesday. At least 9 other people were taken to hospitals with injuries but were expected to survive. Police say the suspect was interviewed about a year ago during investigations into online posts threatening a school shooting. He was not arrested because investigators did not have enough evidence. He is now charged as an adult with using an assault-style rifle for murder. It is 5 days to the first showdown between Vice President Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. It is reported the two have now agreed on ground rules for the debate, including muted mics when it was the other's turn to speak. Harris' campaign had hitherto rejected that rule, especially as analysts said it could be in Trump's favor. With the rules all set, the duo will meet head-to-head in their first presidential encounter on September 10.
Well, that's all for News 360. Thanks very much for watching. For more news, you can log on to our website. It's www.3news.com. My name is Paa Kwesi Asare.
And I'm Ayisha Yakubu-Halid. Have a good evening.